Good morning. I have not posted for a while, but just kind of speaking off of some things that are kind of processing through my mind. And one thing in particular is clarity from God. My pastor was preaching this Sunday, and he had mentioned a note, about how the enemy will send resources as well as the Lord. And in the sense of, like, when there is a purpose and a mission that the Lord has assigned for you to do and for you to pursue and to accomplish, that he's already made provision, but the enemy is going to want to come in and intercept. And the thing is that when the enemy comes in, he doesn't come with the pitchfork and the horns and the red eyes and say, hey, I'm the devil, hey, I've been sent by one of the devil's agents or whatever. But they will distract you, they will deter you, and it's not necessarily with bad things, but things that will consume your time and eat up your ability to think clearly. And it's really essential that when you're in a place where you think or that the Lord is taking you through a particular thing, and he's shaping you to bring you to another level or another place in your ministry, in your talent, in your church, wherever, that the enemy is going to come. And I pray, it wasn't this Sunday, it was actually a Bible study, but needless to say, he was talking about that. And it just really made me think, God, it's so easy for us to miss our discerning and misunderstand the resources and the people. And one of the big components that he talked about was evaluating and the ability to evaluate. But you have to know what to evaluate. I mean, if my standards, God forbid, were low, and I didn't know any better, I'm going to only be able to evaluate and assess the situation based on the terms and levels that I understand or know. So that's why it's essential to even, link yourself with people and individuals that have high standards, that hold the principles that you either want to attain or that you currently attain, but you want to be held accountable for. And the more exposure that you give to that particular to that particular thing that you want to attain, and even the relationship, in perspective of God and someone else who can also be monitoring and watching and seeing and assessing and ensuring that it's headed in the right direction, that you're able to do that thing. And when I say relationship, I don't necessarily mean boyfriend, girlfriend. I don't mean husband, wife, but I mean from a friendship perspective, from a business perspective, whatever means, to complete what it is that you have to do. And so, my mind has really been in there because I believe I am in a space where I am shifting and changing and seeking clarity on what it is that the Lord desires to do in my life and for me to do on this earth with the time that he's given me. And there's been changes in friendships and relationships beyond friendships and stuff. And so I'm really just want to ensure that I'm clear, and I don't want to be hasty in anything, because it says we don't have to be anxious or careful for anything, because the Lord, he knows, and things like that. And the thing about the enemy is that he cannot endure. So you have a long evaluation process, per se, if it's meant to be, and that resource is supposed to be there in your life, then it's going to work itself out. It's going to happen. There's nothing that the enemy can do or throw that will throw it off. And so with me saying that, I just want you to, understand and learn to evaluate and assess, resources and things that exhort your energy, that will pull your energy, I should say, and drain you of something. Because if it's taking from you and you're allowing it to be in your life, make sure that is of value and that there's also an exchange, because in any level of relationship, in whatever means that the relationship is for, you're going to find that you're going to have to give something. But in return, you will also be gaining something. And you shouldn't feel that it is a drain on you, your energy, your mind, your time, your focus. It should be something that enriches to some degree. Or if it is a relationship, like for example, a mentor to a mentee, or a worker, or whatever. If your role is to work and to pour out and to give, then you should do that thing. And in that cases, yes, in most cases, it is about you pouring in, and the return that you get may not be equal to what you give, but equal in the sense of satisfaction and approval and growth, so that sacrifice that you're making is still fruit, a good fruit, and you see it richly multiply. So I'm just kind of talking off the cuff, and something that has just come to my mind, and some things that I know that I have been considering and thinking about, because sometimes you get really caught up in moments, you get caught up in good things that are happening, and it could fog your judgment, and may not necessarily cause you to assess the situation that may be a little bit more of a struggle. And so if we maintain that, whether you're going through a season of struggle or you're going through a season of mountaintop highs, then we should be consistent in that, in evaluating and making sure that anything that is linked and tied to you doesn't pull from that or strip you of that good thing. And most importantly, not from the mission and purpose that the Lord has placed in there for you, and those type things. So with that, I will go. But I hope everyone or someone will consider that, and any notes and any comments that you want to add, by all means, you could link them in the bottom. I don't think I've ever really paid attention, but my intent is to get better about that and to bring more exposure to my videos. So have a good one.